Hi everyone, today this video I'm gonna talk about one specific type of way that we can use the mental models. That was the matter that we have more discussed in the last videos, and I'm gonna start a series that now I'm gonna apply them in a more type of practical jobs. And then today we're gonna talk about how to create and manage relationships using what mental models can provide to us in order to us structure our decision making, which gonna create certain type of behavior. So I really expect you to help me by subscribing and afterwards seeing other videos to make you a better person. And then today we're gonna solve the problem of how to create relationships and how to make them be sustainable over the time. So first I'm gonna define the problem, because whenever you're gonna try to solve a problem, the best way to start it is defining clearly what is the main problem that you're facing, and then you're gonna do an attack to the core and not gonna be attached too much attached with the symptoms of the main problem that is existing. So defining the problem clearly, why I have the need to understand why I have the need to create relationships and having relationships, because we have understood that as a society that we're made on, we have a need to get connections with other ones in order to what other ones have as goods to provide to us. We're safe because they're gonna have like a higher probability to help people that they tend to like. And then if I have relationships with other ones, if I have friends, I have a network that I can be supported on, and then I can rely on them, which is obviously something that as the society is built, we're made to kind of get prosperity if we have the ability to get connections. And then defining the problem clearly comes with what I really want is not the relationships by itself. It's what can bring as valuable from having a relationship with the people. And this can come as the feeling of feeling loved, that normally people tend to feel with boyfriends, girlfriends, with parents, feeling to kind of build and make other human by the zero, obviously, being more influenced by what I think is right. And then comes the need to have kids, and also obviously in a more biological way to see the connections with the kids. So how are genes going on in generations is one of the most type of principles that people feel motivated to do, and to support and to help. And then we understand that the main type of thing that we're facing is building and maintaining relationships that are useful to us. So I already define the problem is that I want to get good outcome from my environment, then relationships can bring. It's what I really want. And then what I really know what can be like the components that I have to look. I have to look to understand what can be key points that are gonna be the feedback from the methodology that I'm going to put in my life in order to build and maintain relationships. And then these are clear. So if the main problem is I want to look for relationships in order to then bring value for me, the key points is what can be the effects of the value that I come from relationships that I can get, that helps me to understand if I'm getting enough or not. If I'm feeling good, if I'm feeling well treated by the people that I have interaction with, if I praise the time that I spend with the team, with the people that I have interactions in my lifetime, it's the main type of indicators that if I have the ability to make a reflection, I understand. So if I'm meeting the criteria that are they kind of say what going to be my performance in terms of quality of the relationships that I have. And defining the problem clearly is how create meaningful relationships and maintain them over the time, the meaningful ones. So we can break down the process in initiating relationships, how to connect with new people, and maintaining them, so how to keep them strong and meaningful. Now, following the bulletproof problem solving, we're gonna break it because it's a problem that's the most complex. So we're gonna break the problem in what are the components of relationships. So what do you know that's something that has to exist? Trust. So the foundation of every strong relationship is trust. Whatever is a lovely type of relationships with boyfriends, girlfriends, or with parents or friends, trust is always something that has to exist. So I have to understand that whenever I'm going to start or I'm having one, I have to build the trust that this relationship has. Communication, so the ability to express and understand effectively. And we see clearly that the main problems that people feel and have today is sometimes can be avoided if it exists enough quality communication of people expressing their feelings about what bothers them, what not, what they would like the partner to adapt to their life, and what so they would like to the partner don't do it. So practicing this more ability to communicate, to put the things clearly, is one of the things that helps, because transparency is something that people praise. It comes with having trust in relationship and understanding clearly what's happened with the other ones. And for that, so I have to got the ability to understand the communication of the other one, and as well happens the other way around as well. I have to communicate effectively what I'm feeling, what I do like with the interaction that I have with the person or not. Shared value exchange, other thing that's essential in a relationship. Every relationship involves multiple benefits, whether emotional, intellectual, or social. Consistency and effort, so has to exist during a good amount of time. These specific type of interactions that are positive, they have to happen consistently, with some consistency, as not to be something that is just like periodic. It's a relationship is not just made by specific touch points over the time. Has to be some consistency. That's because trust is based in familiarity, and so familiarity is just built with getting accustomed with something. So the people that you see that you kind of get, so a better type of connections are have a tendency to be as well the ones that you have more interaction with, because increase the likelihood of you passing a good time with some specific experiences that you have between or when your two yourselves are connected. And then so consistent effort, and other pillar that's important, adaptability and conflict resolution. Obviously attrition is always going to exist. People are different beliefs, different perceptions about the things, which obviously can create the lack of familiarity sometimes, since we have to get divergences when people think the different ways than we do. And that's why people have connections with people that are close in terms of ideologies, in terms of what they think, beliefs, faiths. And then so sometimes it's important to managing the disagreements, and so evolving our ability to get tolerance. And then so that we have break down the concepts, it's clear so what builds the connection. Then so we have to generate hypothesis of action. So what psychology, what has been proven that grows and creates so good relationships? We have already so make approach, working in trust, ability to communicate with each other, shared value exchange, so creating relationships or actions which more situations you create in both, so two ones are interacting and both ones are getting good feedbacks, more you like. That's why a lot of people, and mainly when you're kind of more in a younger stage, people do a lot of friends in sports, because in sports what happens, they have to trust each other. The goalkeeper in football has to trust that the defender is going to give the maxes as possible to not so make the other attacker pass to their area. Is based in communication. They have to communicate with other ones. They are shared value exchange. They're both fighting to win the game. They have to obviously work with consistency and effort, because they are teamwork. They have to grow together. And adaptability, conflict resolution, if they're able to obviously, we do always having to fight to win the games, sometimes some conflicts happens, and obviously if they're able to face it, and then for they whole have always the opportunity to try to manage this conflict by in the next game putting more effort and showing so for their partners in the team, you see that environment that creates a higher likelihood to build durable, or at least in the moment good connections. That's why some environments that they're able to you build trust, communication, they're prone to you to shared value exchange by fighting for the same thing. It's the environments as well so have a higher tendency to you connect and create friends. That's why one of the most things that I would say that's the best area to you to arrange friends, or in work that you're fighting for the same, that you need to communicate consistently with some type of consistency, that you're so putting effort and you depend to each other to go to both go and go so to succeed. It's the best environments that you are able to create connections with people. So If you use these principles, that's like the main ones that creates connections, you're gonna have a higher likelihood to create friends. Is you putting with some conscious in that specific environment, it helps. I give the example of sports, I as well give the example in the jobs. You can give another example of you're fighting for something, you have so consistency that you both are interacting with some specific consistency, the connection environment you to both perform, that requires trust to exist between you and him, and it's environment that is as well makes you have a higher likelihood to have conflict resolution and adaptability. And this happens in games. There's some games they go bad, sometimes a player goes bad, but other ones it can so commit it's gonna put even more effort than he was putting, and then so is gonna increase the likelihood of surpassing some type of difficulties that comes with the nature of the game. So what I want you to take from this video is, if you want to create connections, put you in environments that these specific components are present, because it's going to increase the probability of you create environment, they create so friends. And then so to remain is just making these principles apply over the time. So nurture trust, remain communicating with the peoples, try to seek for actions and behaviors, activities that you kind of are fighting for the same, and so you have shared value exchange, consistency and effort, so remain being consistent with interactions, and working your ability to be adaptive, having adaptability for some conflicts that exist, because when you have so a lot of interaction with the people, we have a higher likelihood as well to have some attraction, and then so be able to develop tolerance. And then so obviously the final tip I would say is you working yourself makes yourself good, and you by being valuable, other ones as well will like so to remain you, get exposed to you, because which more you have to provide by you being naturally good and working for yourself, you're gonna have like a higher value, because you're gonna get a probability to provide more. That's why we a lot of see people that are rich and famous, they get attract a lot of people for there, because what they have to provide is so much that other ones wants to get fed with. And then so I expect this video has make you clear about what creates a people that has social value, and I expect so you to as well help me by subscribing and afterwards seeing other videos. So see you in the next one.